Hi, everyone. I'm Dondi Mercer-Plink. So glad to have you with us for our news at noon. It is today, day 21 of the Alec Murdaugh murder trial. Today features testimony from Murdaugh's only surviving son, Buster. Greg Adeline is in Colleton County, where the courthouse is in Walterboro, with some key takeaways today, Greg, from the trial.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Dondi. Buster Murdaugh took the stand on behalf of the defense earlier this morning, and that was certainly the main event this morning as he gave testimony about some of the family dynamics. And this is going to be a big role here in what the prosecution and what the defense will be looking at in the second half of this trial. The defense seeking to show that the Murdaughs were a happy family and that there was no discord among them, especially around the night of the murders, June the 7th, 2021. Buster Murdaugh taking the stand earlier today, talking about some of the things that he could testify to, saying that his father would coach all of his Little League games, all of his Little League teams over the years. The defense, again, showing photos of that family essentially happy in 2021, in May of 2021. Also, Buster Murdaugh giving an accounting of the family guns at Moselle, saying that Paul was haphazard in leaving guns around in his unlocked truck. He said that the guns loaded at Moselle were typically loaded correctly and that there was no mismatching ammo. He also said that the family uses the main entrance to enter and exit, not typically the kennel entrance. Buster saying that he knew a little bit about his dad's opioid addiction, and he said that his dad was apologetic over pill use and that the family handles disagreements civilly and never resorts to violence. He also said that he didn't know that his dad was stealing money from his law firm, but Buster said that he himself was sued in the boat accident where his brother was charged for boating under the influence in the crash that killed Mallory Beach back in 2019. He said that Alec didn't appear overly anxious about that civil lawsuit. In fact, Buster said that his dad was more nervous about the criminal case and that he thought that Paul wasn't driving, that being Alec. Buster also said that he didn't take any security precautions after the murders in June of 2021 of his mom and brother, saying that he didn't want to carry a gun and didn't want a security detail. So then defense attorney Jim Griffin showed him a Snapchat video from 7:56 the night of the murders that has been a big focus in this case so far. Buster said it didn't look like his dad was wearing a Columbia shirt. You'll remember that's a shirt that prosecutors say that Alec was wearing in that video, a shirt they say is now missing. Buster then said in that June 10th interview with SLED that his dad, Alec, said, quote, "They did him so bad," and that his dad said the same multiple times on the night of the murder, something that prosecutors say he did not say. Take a listen.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
What'd your dad say?
Said they did him so bad.
Is that the first time you'd heard him say they did him so bad?
No, sir.
When was the first time you heard him say they did him so bad?
First time I heard him say that was the night that I went down to Moselle, the night of June the 7th.
Did he say that more than one time?
He did.
Now, it's worth noting that the defense never asked Buster to comment on the kennel video from 8:44 the night of June 7th, 2021. It was expected that the prosecution would perhaps play that video and get him to comment on it, but they did not. In that cross-examination, the prosecution never asked him to listen to the kennel video that has been so damning in many ways to the defense's case. We thought that perhaps we might hear it. In fact, we did not. So it may show a little bit of the strategy of the prosecution here to somewhat lay off of defense witnesses. We saw this on Friday. We saw it a little bit today, feeling like if any of these defense witnesses didn't necessarily damage their case, that they wouldn't necessarily need to go too hard against them or rebut them in too many ways. That's what we saw in that cross-examination. But also just a few odds and ends here from the courthouse. Earlier today, Judge Newman saying that another juror has called in sick, essentially, was at the doctor's office, so that now leads the jury panel down to 2 alternates. And then also Judge Newman reprimanding defense attorney Jim Griffin from the bench about a tweet that Jim Griffin had put out talking about the prosecution's case, criticizing some of the state's witnesses and also the state's case. Judge Newman saying essentially that that's a bad look for him to include articles that are critical of the state, because after all, defense lawyer Jim Griffin is actively arguing this case. Judge Newman said that doesn't look too good when he's putting out things like that on his Twitter account. We're going to follow the latest developments here at the courthouse as this trial continues. More defense witnesses called today in the murder trial of Alec Murdaugh. We'll have that for you on later editions of WIS News 10. We are live in Walterboro. Greg Adeline, WIS News 10.
Greg in Colleton County, thank you so much. And we will continue to update you on air and online as testimony moves forward today and this week.